Alright, welcome back. We're going to work on doing a little painting on the boat. What I have here, and as you can see I've done a little, I already did a slight coat just to see if it was going to run, see what was going to happen. By the way, this is the ologist, and right now I am a paintologist. So, anyway, what I got here, and I know there's been a lot of videos of them, but I've bought a $15, this is a detail sprayer from Harbourfreight. Most of the videos that I've seen have been with the larger sprayers for like automobiles, stuff of that sort. However, I'm finding with the boats, I want a little more detail, so I want something that was going to have a little bit smaller brush stroke, a little bit smaller spray. And I'm finding this detail sprayer works amazing. So what I did, very first time I got it, I put about 2 ounces in it. This cap, or this little cup, holds 4 ounces. I put 2 ounces in it, and honestly, I did most of the half of the boat with 2 ounces. So I have a whole quart of paint here, and all it is Rust-Oleum. It's an oil-based Rust-Oleum, and I got the best stuff that I could find, and I tinted it and made it a pretty color. It's called Jade Blue, if I remember, Jade something. Jade Jewel, that's what it was. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I'm doing here, how to make some detail paint, some painting on your boat, pretty detailed. Make it where it's not going to overspray. See how smooth this is? And that's one of the reasons I wanted a smaller sprayer, is I wanted the detail. I didn't want to have to rush through and spray it real fast or else have runs. So yeah, we're just going to go over the basics of what I'm doing with my spray gun, what I'm doing with this boat. Now don't get me wrong, this is not going to be a show quality boat. This is an old 72 model, V-bottom, scratches on it. I'm not going to cover any of the scratches with Bondo or fill them in probably with anything. I may touch a few of the bigger ones up. But basically what this video is about is just showing you that even if you have a budget, you can do a decent paint job, a good paint job even, and get a nice result with $15 from Harbourfreight. I have $15 into the paint, so I'm $30 into this. I got me a little bit of mineral spirits here. So if you are new to mixing paint that is oil-based or an air sprayer, this is what you use. People use acetone, it works fine too, but mineral spirits is usually where I go. It's easy to clean up oil-based paint with a mineral spirit. Acetone works too though, so if you'd rather get that, but this is a little bit cheaper, so that's why I'm with mineral spirits. Alright, so what I did, I got a little mixing jar here, and I poured my quart of paint. Actually, I poured about 3/4 of the quart of paint in here, so it was about right here. So this is a whole quart jug. Poured 3/4 of the quart in. Then I started adding some acetone. I kind of eyed it. I was like, well, let me take that quarter and let me put that quarter back in with acetone, or with mineral spirits, and then that should be a pretty good mixture. So what I did is, instead of feeling like I needed to go ahead and pour that whole quarter in, I poured less than the quarter. So I started there. Poured less than the quarter, mixed it, picked it up, see how long it took to drip. If it took longer than about 20 seconds before it started dripping, I had a little bit more. And until I got close to the 20 to 25, 30 second range, where I figured it would go through alright with this. And it did take long. After I poured a little less than that quarter in there of the quart, it was real close. It was real close. I think I was about at 32 seconds before it started dripping. So then I just took a touch and I added a touch more. And honestly, as you can see, the results so far look pretty good. But we're going to look and see what it looks like when I'm actually spraying, and how you're going to sweep it back and forth and make sure that you don't get drips. Alright, so here we go. Bear with me, I haven't loaded it up. It's clean, nothing in it. I don't know if you've ever cleaned, most of you probably have not cleaned any products that use an air sprayer with oil base. Quite a big cleanup. You can't just, of course, use water as oil. Water and oil don't mix, so you've got to use either an acetone or a mineral spirits to just clean your stuff. So it can get a little pricey with the mineral spirits if you're just trying to douse your stuff. But you can, swish a little bit in here, spray a little bit out, swish a little more in, spray it out, dump it out, and you don't have to use too much. But at the very end, I do want to show you some of the cleanup steps because you need to take it all apart. If you don't, that oil base will set up in here and it will gum up. So we'll get to that later though. It's recommended that you have some gloves. Oil-based paint is not easy to get off once it's on your skin. Now I'm just going to stir it around just a bit. I've already shaken it up quite a bit, but just to make sure I've gotten all that bottom area, because I want to make sure we're going to match exactly what I put on a few days ago. And you can use anything to stir it. I found a metal dowel from somewhere, something laying around, and cleaned it off, and that's what I used. So first thing I did, and like I said, this is not going to be perfect. I got bugs flying everywhere. I honestly don't have a paint booth because I just have not had the opportunity to get to that point yet. Eventually I will. That's the goal. So I'm going to have probably some little bugs that stick in here, maybe some dust, and honestly it looks like it might rain, so I might have to postpone this in a few minutes, but we'll see. Alright, that looks pretty mixed up. And this is what I'm talking about, if you can see the drip. You count as soon as you take it out until it starts dripping right there. Alright, let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, I probably got a little bit thin now. I put a little bit extra in it, but we'll see how it does. About between 15 and 20 is close to where you're going to be for these detail sprayers. Now, once you get a bigger sprayer, such as an automotive one, about 20 to 25, 27, somewhere in that range is good. So this may be just barely thin, but it'll be alright. Because I felt like it was just slightly thick the last time I sprayed it. It felt like it was having a little bit of struggle, but it wasn't too bad. Get that out of the way. Whew, mosquitoes are bad tonight. Must be all that rain. Really think we're going to have to put up here in just a minute, though. And I'm not going to fill this quite all the way up. I'm going to fill it most of the way up. There's no reason to get overzealous with your paint. You can add more anytime you want to. So this is about how much I have in it. And you want a little space for the cap. And these are gravity fed, so they're not going to do well